Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Skeletron Red Shadows Sector 6 Series Wolf Trooper 1/12 scale action figure. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here, he's number 2 in the series. He's Red Shadows. And he's Red Shadows. That Red Shadows symbol is on a downward angle on that corner. On the front, ages 14 and up. Nice big window showcasing most of the figure and accessories. Some great artwork right here. Oh, even getting down to some Wolverine type business. Red Shadows Wolf Trooper by Skeletron on the bottom. Barcode and item number, I'm supposing. Barcode's down here, but it also rolls up to this side. And then by Skeletron, Red Shadow, small fine legalese print. Don't give it to babies. And then on this side, like I said before, the barcode comes up from that side. He's 02. Red Shadows Wolf Trooper. Red Shadows logo. And on this side, the artwork here wraps around. And you can see some mountains. I don't know what that symbol is. Maybe it's for Wolf Troopers. And then the moon. Some spacey sky. What is that? It looks like a cube floating. Oh no. It's part of the artwork. It's just reflection off of the tape. Duh. I'm such a dingus. Robo Skull Mark II. Sector 6 series. There is the data file on this guy. If you want to pause it right here and read it, please do so at this time. And moving right along. I don't know if I said nice artwork over here, but if I didn't, there it is. And look, he's in space. Well, maybe not in space, but he's way high up there. Collect Red Shadows vehicles and figures, and there they all are, except for that one, number 3. I don't know who that is. And number 7, wait, we know who that is because I purchased one. It's the Assault Trooper. Skeletron.com, www.skeletron.com. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we'll take a look at his stand. It's triangular shape because it lends itself to the Red Shadows logo that is sculpted into the back of it. It's got 3 pegs on it, and you can see, like, except for the pegs, it's flat on the top. That's because, like I said, all the sculpt work is in, on the back here. So very nice, very solid feeling stand there. Here we have handy dandy tweezers so we can take a look at some of the smaller stuff. He does come with 2 grenades. Kind of futuristic-y looking grenades. At least is how I think of them. So that's very cool. Like I said, there are 2. And then we also have 2 magazines for his rifle, molded in black plastic. Nice molded details. I mean, not a lot going on there, but it's enough you know what it is. Where'd the other one go? There it is. And like I said, there are 2 of them. He does have 2 extra sets of hands. One set of fists on an in and out hinge. It's got some nice molded details. It's a bit glossy. Now this armor piece is a little glossier than the rest of it, but nice details in it, sculpt wise. And it's on in and out hinge, both of them. Both sets, actually, I think. So one set of fists, one set of gun cradle hands. And yes, again, it's on in and out hinge. Nice molded details. Looks like it's got a little bit of gloss on it right there on that armor looking piece. And pretty much same thing going on with this hand. Let's see what's next. Let's take a look at the blast effect. Goes for the rifle. I'm sure it can go in the pistol as well. So very nice looking. And it, like, the color changes as it goes down, and I'm not sure how they do that, whether it's different color plastics or they paint it, or I don't know. So here's his sidearm, and it's very futuristic-y looking, but this guy also flies in space with a jetpack, so there is that. It does have nice molded details, not only in space, but he can in space. So actually lots of nice molded details in there. A little bit of paint apps here and there. I think it's molded in the red plastic, and the black and silvers are paint apps, but I could be wrong. And then let's see, it does have a port in the end of it, so the blast effect does fit. It doesn't go all the way in, but you know, if you're not looking at it like that, then you're really not gonna notice it. So next up here we have his rifle, and it's a kind of a future-y looking piece, but again, like I said, this guy not only flies through the skies on a jetpack, but he can travel in space as well. So nice silver paint app there. I think the black is also paint app because the red has a bit of a glossy look to it, but you know, I don't know a whole lot about the paint stuff, so it could just be not like I said. It could be the opposite of what I said. The red could be the paint app. I don't know. It makes more sense for the red to be the paint app, but it just, the way it looks more plasticky where the red is. So here we have his jetpack, and I haven't quite decided which way it goes yet. This looks like intake, but then, you know, that it doesn't set down far enough. So it's probably the exhaust. And again, I think this is molded in red. And some of these black pieces might not be paint. I'm not sure. So we've got a place for storage here and storage here, and I'll show that later. And it's got some labels on it. BOAK X19 maybe it says. So some silver there. Black and red mostly. And another punch of silver there, some black up here, like down here, some white for these danger arrows, I guess, because it's exhaust, and then there, and then I guess you can store something here as well, although I don't think he comes with anything that stores, or maybe the grenades could fit there, but they also fit on his belt. So next up, he has a set of mechanical Wolverine claws. And I'll have to say they look really nice. They clip on. It's got some nice silvers there to it. Some white tampos, some silver down here. Black for the straps, silver there. So Very cool looking, and like I said, there are 2 of these. So very, very nice looking, and they're not flimsy. They're fairly stiff plastic. So next up we have not an alternate head, but a helmet. It is a helmet, and it looks really cool. It has like a kind of a wolf motif because he's a wolf trooper, and that red stripe over the top, and then glossy black and some, is it dark gray, I guess, on there. And then the eye, or the lenses for the helmet, look like a glossy black as well. Lots of nice molded detail in there, and again, you can see like the wolf motif, the ears, the teeth, the nose. So very, very cool looking. Now let's get to the figure himself. And I have to say, the face looks very nice, kind of ninja-like. The way the mask does, and like the padding, it's breathable fabric, I'm guessing. The eyes and the eyebrows look good. I don't know if they're using the print technology, the inkjet stuff, but they could be. But regardless, it looks really, really good. And then we've got some gloss black around, I guess, for some hard parts on this part of the helmet, the under helmet, I guess. Lots of nice molded details in this overlay piece, and then it's got a little bit of paint apps on it as well. Some gloss right here, and the red shadows tampo right there, and I think there's one under here as well. But yes, it actually will remove, so you can pull this piece off if you want and just look at what's underneath, which is some glossy armor. It looks like there is a cut in the torso and then one at the waist as well, but we'll get to that when we talk about articulation. This belt has some silver for the buckle, as well as this one. We've got 2 ports right there for grenades, and also there is a pouch for one of the magazines to go in. This is where the pistol stores, on this post right here, and it's got a little bit of silver on it. The arms, glossy black for the armor, red for the fabric, and then glossy black for the armor on the forearm, and then it's got some silver, no, white going on there. And this is white on this belt, not silver. It's silver on this buckle, but white on this one. And then moving right along, we've got some glossy armored knee pads there, and then some glossy on the boots, along with some red hits right there, and some silver there as well. Some red right here on the back, some kind of padding, it looks like, perhaps. So let's take a look at his articulation real quick. That's about as far as he looks up, at least with this overlay on. He can look down that far. The neck is a separate piece, so he's got some chicken neck. He's got a little bit of waggle. He's got some attitude. He can do the full exorcist. There is a butterfly joint at the shoulder, goes back that far, so really, really good range there. And then forward that far, so very nice. The arm will rotate 360 degrees, I say, as it gets stuck. The armor, because of having to swing out for these shoulder pieces, it can make it difficult to go the full 360 degrees, but it does do it, as you can see here. Cut at the upper bicep, 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. And let's see, I think it's, yeah, there's rotation, 360 degrees worth of rotation here and at the wrist as well, 360 degrees. And this one is up and down hinge, and this one is up and down hinge as well. Again, I said there's a cut in the torso. There's also one at the waist. They're both on ball joints, half dumbbells, whatever, you know, whatever you feel like calling them. And in conjunction, they will let him lean back that far. They let him crunch forward that far. He can lean left and right pretty good. He's got 360 degrees worth of rotation in the torso, and then another 360 degrees of rotation at the waist. And he also has a ton of hula going on. So you definitely want to invite this guy to your luau. Now he does have pull down hinges in the hips, and with those engaged, he gives you the full splits, no doubt about it. Back in there. He kicks forward that far, which is way past 90 degrees. That is insane. And then back that far, which is it's better than a lot of figures get these days. Stepping back, and again, that is with the hip pull down hinge engaged. Cut at the upper thigh, 360 degrees of rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend, so great range. And then there is a boot cut, 360 degrees of rotation there. And then at the ankle, it tilts down that far. It tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, I'm not going to pause it. This guy doesn't have a whole lot of gear to do, so we'll just do it. So the helmet, it will go on. It's a tight fit, but once you get it like better than halfway, it goes on easy. So that's what he looks like with the helmet. Let's see, one of the magazines stores here. That looks okay. The grenades store here in the belt. They just peg into these ports, or at least I say they do. This is why I usually do this off screen. So it doesn't seem like they want to go in there. I may have to heat it up to get it in there. So let's see, does it go in here easier? Too big. Those ports are too big for this post, so they do go in here. Just gotta work at them a bit. At this point, I've already covered the Assault Trooper. I don't know if you've watched that review or not. I plan on putting that one up first. The grenades, I didn't put them on in the review, but they were much easier to get in. But I think that's because I had them in already, or they came on the figure already. Wow, this one does not want to go in. So that would happen on the one I decided to load out on during the review. So the gun, you just kind of line it up how it fits on here and give it a push, he says, as it doesn't want to do. Now, I did do this one time already. Come on, you. I know you go on there. What the heck? So this doesn't want to go either, but there it goes. You just got to get it lined up just right. But it does go right on there. Now, as far as these go, of course, if he's in battle, they clip on. Oh, I didn't notice they're different. So how about that? Or at least, or either that or this one just didn't get the paint and the other one did. I don't think that's the case, but. And of course, they're going to be hard to get on here. Maybe you have to pop the hands off. So pop the hands off, and it kind of slides on there, and then maybe it's not too hard to pop the hand back in. And of course it is. So that's what the claw looks like when it's on the figure. But they do also store these slits right here that I said was storage before. That is where these store on the backpack, and they just kind of fit in there and clip around this side. You can see like there's a place for the edge of it to go. And that's how it goes. And they're on there pretty dang good. Now as far as the rifle goes, he just has to hold it in his hand. There's a piece of flashing right there, and there's some on my hand. Dadgummit. But anyway, as far as the rifle goes, there's no storage for it that I can tell, and he just has to hold it. And I don't know if I showed I don't think I did. So the blast effect fits in the rifle. It's kind of tight, so be careful that you don't break that peg off. And then the backpack, there's a port in its back right there. And it goes on and it stays on, and that is pretty darn good, my friends. And there you have it, my friends. I'll look at the figure and his accessories and storage. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Skeletron Red Shadows Wolf Trooper with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Officer, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Guard, and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Carded Cobra Viper. Here we have the Skeletron Red Shadows Wolf Trooper with the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Swarm Sentry and the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Scarab. Here we have the Skeletron Red Shadows Wolf Trooper with the Skeletron Red Shadows Assault Trooper, the Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction, the Order of the Crimson Moon, Count Ironblood, the Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction, the Order of the Crimson Moon, Major Noir, the Big Bad Workshop Fresh Monkey Fiction, the Order of the Crimson Moon, Wolf's Bane. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Skeletron Red Shadows Wolf Trooper with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Skeletron Red Shadows Wolf Trooper, I have to say this dude is pretty darn cool. And I wouldn't have known that if I didn't look at the back of the box, I wouldn't have known that he goes through space. Well, maybe not through space, but he can fly in space. At least limitedly. I don't know. It says he fights in space, so that's a cool thing, I guess. But he definitely travels through the air on his jetpack, and then apparently in space as well. I like the accessories with this guy. The helmet's cool. The Wolverine claws are cool, although they're a bit of an issue. I had an issue, at least, as you could see in the review, getting them on the figure. And maybe it gets a little easier at time. Maybe there's a specific way you have to do it. Popping the hands off and sliding it on seems simple enough, but then putting the hands back on, not as easy with the claws in the way. So there's that. So I'm sure fiddling with it some, I will figure out a better way to do it. I like the sculpt of this guy. It's very I don't want to say detailed, but it is detailed. It has a lot of textural detail in it. The paint on it is really nice. I like the wolf look to the helmet. It's really, really cool. The post on his leg where the pistol sidearm goes, that's pretty neat. It folds in with the futuristic kind of, more futuristic kind of feel this guy has than, say, some of the others. But the other, well, I say others being the only things by Skeletron that I have reviewed is the Wolf Trooper, the Assault Trooper, and the Skeledrones that years ago, well, it might not have been years ago, it might have been last year that I picked those up. But you know, they're all really, really cool, and I do like them. So, you know, Red Shadows has a bit of a futuristic flair with it, especially, okay, the Robo Skull Mark II is, yeah, I can't see in this day and age a plane or vehicle that flies being designed like that. So, a bit beyond our current technological capabilities. So in that sense, I guess these guys are semi-futuristic. There's enough realistic stuff to kind of ground them, and just enough futurism to kind of give it a flair, I guess. But this guy's good. The joints are really smooth, and you know, I will say I wasn't as impressed with the Wolf Trooper as I was with the Assault Trooper, but the Assault Trooper just had so many things going on for it, and it just blew my mind that I probably should have taken a look at this one first, but I didn't. So, and that's not to say that this guy isn't impressive. It is a very impressive figure, but I didn't find it as impressive as the Assault Trooper. I do like that one better. But that's not to say I don't like this one. It's a really good figure as well. And, you know, I look forward to checking out some more Skeletron stuff. Maybe one day that Robo Skull Mark II, maybe. We'll see. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.